We ought to call him later. He's not awake right now.
He might be if it's that hot.
They may not be sleeping. I saw on TV last night where they're sleeping on mattresses out in the yard.
Yeah.
Because it's so hot and they can't stand it inside the houses.
And it's got to be humid out there, too. I mean, the humidity is...
They've got the fire department bringing water hoses out and setting up sprays, and they've got cooling centers 24 hours a day now. And this is an area where they said there are entire years that go by where the temperature does not get out of the 80s. And now it's 106.
So there's no need for them to have an air conditioner.
No, they don't need an air conditioner ever. And
why they don't have them.
And they're cooking out there right now.
And the other end of the spectrum, look at Chicago. I mean, Chicago, one of the hottest cities ever in the summertime, and they're enjoying one of the coolest summers they've ever had.
On record.
It's unbelievable.
And we got tornadoes again yesterday.
I think it's all because of global warming.
Well, it is. Well, you got that from Darius. I told him you didn't believe in that because that's what Darius said the other day when we were talking about the water spouts.
Everything. It's much cooler in Chicago now, and it's all because of global warming.
It is.
Why? Because the ice caps are melting.
And it's changing the temperature of the water, and that changes the flow of the jet stream, which forces that loop that we haven't had before, which brings all that hot air up the coast of California and the cold air down through the Midwest, and the front sits right along our coast, which is causing all these tornadoes.
And then the report comes out yesterday by this geologist who says that global warming, he's debunking all of it. He says none of it's true. That's just what he said, okay?
Well, I'll go home.
I'm going with him.
I'm going to go home and read some. I'm going to go call Darius. He knows all about global warming.
Well, he travels all over the country, so he sees it, I guess.
He explains it.
Well, we did have a tornado yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Around Bluffton, but nobody got hurt, which is good.
Did you guys get a ton of rain?
We got a good hour's worth of rain, yeah, but I mean not a ton. It was a heavy rain. We had a little bit of shallow flooding right there in the curb.
Well, right here along the coast, it came in.
Really?
Yeah.
It was done in
like
about an hour.
Monsoon yesterday down North Charleston, hand
Wasn't
to
that
hand.
bad? Did y'all get rained out at the ball game?
Yeah, the North Charleston game started at 10 last night.
Well, that's why you look like that when you walked in here this morning.
Yeah, I couldn't hang with the whole thing.
That makes sense. We'll talk more about that game in a second.
A South Carolina company has entered a 20-year contract to use one of the State Ports Authority's terminals to export wood pellets. Carolina Pacific announced that it will launch its business from Georgetown this fall, shipping pellets to Europe for energy. Federal health officials are mapping out a strategy to deal with a possible swine flu outbreak later in the year. A panel of experts is recommending that the first vaccinations be given to pregnant women, healthcare workers, and children 6 months and older. The House has taken emergency steps to keep some vital federal programs from going broke while they go on vacation in a few weeks. Among other things, the measure would keep people from losing their unemployment checks. That's a good thing.
While they go on vacation.
Some conservative and moderate Blue Dog Democrats say changes agreed to in the House health care bill would reduce costs in the legislation by $100 billion over 10 years. The deal appears to clear the way for a vote in September.
It's hard for them to say, too.
I know it. I saw that $100 billion in 10 years, and I couldn't keep up with all those zeros.
Everything tightened up.
President Barack Obama is set to meet with a Massachusetts police officer and a Harvard scholar at the center of a racial debate. Cambridge Police Sergeant James Crowley, Professor Henry Louis Gates, and the president going to be sitting down this evening for a beer in the
Now, that
Oval
was the
Office.
cop's idea.
That's the president's idea.
No, when he called the cop, he got the cop in a bar, a cop's bar there in Cambridge, where they all go after work. And that's where they told him he would be. So he called the bar, and the guy said, "Hey, Charlie, they got the president on the phone for you."
Yeah,
and
whatever.
And said the place went dead silent.
Wow.
And he picked up the phone, "Hello, Mr. President," and they started talking, and he said it was just in his head because they were sitting there having a beer, saying, "You know what, sir, maybe we all ought to get together and have a beer sometime." And then the president said, "Okay, you know what, we will." So he called the other guy, the professor. He said, "I don't drink beer, but I'll come sit down with you anyway." So that's why they're all getting together today.
Well, good for them. That's good.
You know what? This shouldn't even be on the president's radar. It's a local issue.
Well, like we said last week, he had to come out and do what he did. Now he's going to put the end to it. as long as that other cop shuts up.
Let's hope this is the end of
Not
it.
the one that's involved, but you said there was another one that
There's another one
sent
now.
out some kind of email
mass
talking about a
email
banana-eating
yesterday.
trunk monkey or something.
He's on administrative leave now. The commissioner wants him fired, and it's just, it's getting worse. Just be quiet. Be quiet.
Thank you.
In sports, defending national champion North Carolina coming to Charleston next season. College of Charleston says the Tar Heels will play the Cougars January 4th at the Carolina First Arena. River Dogs avoided a sweep 8-7 last night, win over the West Virginia Power. The Atlanta Braves lost to Florida, and the 2009 Dixie Majors World Series will wrap up this afternoon. There's a game between North Charleston and Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana.
Is that the way you say that?
Well,
Because it's a French word.
I just called them the state champions from Louisiana.
You don't say Terrebonne?
I didn't say Terrebonne.
I think it's Terrebonne.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Terrebonne Parish.
They've got all kinds of crazy names. I felt like I was back
You
in
want
the
me to come
Stingrays
do
again.
the championship game tonight?
Yeah, if you want to.
I'll do it.
Come on out.
And you can go to the boat.
I'll go ahead and do that. Well, either one. Because it's going to be a late night either way.
Yeah, you're right.
That's right.
7:06 at WEZL.
Now, Weasel Time